do you need a car to be a house cleaner? Oh, that's an excellent question, and we're going to talk about that today. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by SavvyPerks.com, which is an employee discount program for you and your employees. So you sign up on a regular recurring membership, and you have access on your smartphone to over 250,000 restaurants and retailers all across the country. Now, one of those savings are rental cars. So if you don't have a regular rental car program, or you don't have a regular car, or you don't have a bus pass, you can join Savvy Perks and you can get a discount on rental cars so you have reliable transportation to get to your job. All right, so on to today's question, which is from a house cleaner who wants to know if she needs a car in order to be a house cleaner. And her argument was this. She said, I have friends that can take me on jobs. Oh, okay, so I don't like the sound of that already. When you come for a job interview with my company, as is true with many house cleaners around the country, one of the things they're going to ask you for is, do you have reliable transportation? If you do not have reliable transportation, we cannot count on you to show up at a customer's house at a particular time on schedule. You need to have reliable transportation. Now, if you don't have reliable transportation, there are gobs of people in the universe that have figured out a way around that. They have Metro passes, they have bus passes, they know how Uber works or maybe Lyft, and they have figured out a way to be able to arrange for a ride in advance of their appointment time of showing up. If you don't show up, and every company that I know, house cleaning companies, they have rules. If you miss 3 times of not showing up, you no longer have a job. Or if you're tardy so many days in a row, you no longer have a job. Reliable transportation is paramount to the success of your business. Because if you are working off of a schedule and you have people that you are expecting to clean their houses, and then you don't show up for those jobs, you're no longer going to have a job. And so yes, transportation is incredibly important. Now, if you are expected to drive to some of the different jobs from point A to point B, you need to arrange that with your employer, because if you don't have a car, you will not be able to do that. And so you will need to make other arrangements with other team members that you do have access to a car. Now, if there are company cars and you are allowed to take one of them home, I know that there are extreme situations where the house cleaner has been allowed to take a car home so she can get to and from work. But if you put any miles on the vehicle beyond that, if you drive it around once you get home, then again, you could lose your job and thus your car or your ride to and from work. So you have to figure out the rules of how you're going to make it work. But let me suggest Uber and let me suggest Lyft, because there are people all over that do ride sharing. And so for a small fee, and it is a fee, it's an investment in your career. If you're making a couple $100s a day and it ends up costing you $14 to get to work, it's an investment. That's the money that you wouldn't have had, as opposed to you staying home because you don't have a ride. Now, another thing that I want you to think about is if you start house cleaning and you're making a couple $100 a day, that's a car payment. That's a car payment. So for 1 or 2 houses a day, you can go down to the local car dealership and you can say, hey, I don't have any wheels. Can you help me get a car? If you have a really bad credit, we've already talked about your credit score, but if you have really bad credit, there are secondary companies that will help you finance a car. The interest rate will be through the roof. It will be sky high, but they will help you get a car at affordable payments. And so don't think about the whole price of the car. Think about the monthly payments. What you're trying to do is get from here to there. When you get to a place where you have better credit and you have more money coming in, then you can get a better car with better interest rates because you have better credit and you have better money coming in. So there are people that want to help you, but you can also rent a car. So if house cleaning is what you've decided for your living, having reliable transportation is paramount to the success of your business. And I would not rely on family and friends to get you there for this reason. Family and friends have other lives and they have other schedules, and they don't respect your schedule like you do your own. And so even though they have good intentions, they have lives of their own. They have sick kids, they have emergencies, they have things that won't allow them to be reliable for you all of the time. So you want to make sure that you take care of your own transportation to get to and from the job. So do you need a car? Yes, you do. Or you need reliable transportation, however you make that happen. But that is going to be your number one priority, is to make sure you are at your job on time. Alrighty, that's my 2 cents for today, and until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.